Holy bones. Holy flapjacks and pickles. I was trying to rest a little bit because I've had a headache all day between it being 75 and also just blossomy enough for allergies to be starting. So I called it quits on everything for this evening. I was done. I was just having one of those days where it's time to fall asleep at 7. And then I just stayed up a little bit longer. I got a second wind. I drank some water. And there's an Earthblade release window for 2023. Anyhow, before we talk about this, you are obligated to like this video. Otherwise, the little Earthblade inside of my channel can't bloom into the big Earthblade YouTube channel that it has to be. It's going to get delayed to 2024 and I'm going to get a really sucky job and just lose all my energy for it. So you have to prevent that. Anyhow, there's a real Earthblade update. I thought this was going to be so far in the future. I was imagining like, oh, wow, Deltarune Chapter 6 and 7 and Earthblade. Can you believe how good 2028 has been? That's just how I think about indie games. But no, I don't know much about dev cycles or how teams differ and stuff, but Maddie just posted an update and they're looking at 2023. And I'm not too hard set expecting that. That's just fantastic to know that it's even close. But yeah, I saw the playtesting. I had no clue how far along they were. Now, we don't know much more about the game itself. This is mostly about update and production development stuff, which is pretty cool, honestly, just to have such a hype cycle for this game, this indie game. For me, it's one of the first times I've followed something so closely, been expecting about as much of it as any, like, Nintendo Zelda game as anything, and actually been able to get news rather consistently and keep that hype going. I can't believe this is going to be a great hype cycle. This would be the game of the year next year for me. But anyhow, we've got an image. It's so pretty. I woke up in a cold sweat a few months ago, right around the same time that I was ambiguously realizing I didn't just want to make a YouTube channel about Metroidvanias, that I actually really like games like Dead Cells and Celeste and stuff. And I realized, hey, wait a second. 2D side-scrolling action-adventure exploration game. Earthblade's gonna rock my house. And it looks like it's going to. Already there's just, so it's got a bit of this looks like game footage. This is a room with a mirror. It's Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. It's got that, mirror door. I always liked those guys, the enemies, mirrors. You gotta sneak up on them. They're these cute little snail mirror doors you gotta sneak up on. They're great. I love them. This is a room. Clearly this very blue mirror is the center part of the room. I get the sense it could be like a warping station or something. That's just like how I read it, having played a lot of Metroidvanias. And it's just nice. It's got like a blue flower up on top, and there's red flowers in the background. Now, I've had a thought, which is that the background of Chapter 6 Celeste has a lot of care put into it. There's a lot of cool detail in the background. And I started to notice all the creeping flowers, and just the flowers were so beautiful, and the colors, just green and then also strange other colors like blues and pinks. And I thought, is this what Earthblade is going to look like? And it kind of looks like this is. As I was starting to say, I want to say this is some really detailed pixel art. I don't know for sure, but when I look at the door, the mirror door, I see a little bit of pixel art, but obviously it's much more, I gotta learn how to talk about this stuff if I'm gonna talk about it, don't I? It's more HD, it's less retro. Here we go. It looks like a Gen 5 Pokemon game, if not even more defined. Perhaps like a really, really nice GBA game, like Pokemon Conquest. This is like the peak of the DS pixel art. It's not retro. It looks very, very expressive. Although I may even be barking up the wrong tree. It's just there's a very square shape to a lot of things that makes me also feel like they're going for a very video gamey look versus the Hollow Knight hand-drawn, painterly, made it by hand in art class kind of world, which is very relevant and cool too. Speaking of Hollow Knight, we've got dangling squares with vines that just look so choppable. You just want to chop them down and make your way up. Let's see, actually, if I were in this room, what would I do? I would come in and I would stop at the mirror. I think it's all flat. I think you can walk straight up to the mirror. I would want to get up to those flowers because there's a beam of light that makes those flowers look so alluring. And I don't know if I could jump up to that ledge up there. I might need a wall jump. So if you were to cut those like you do in Hollow Knight, and green path is what I'm referring to, you would think that it gives you backtracking. I don't know if it would in this situation. I think it would actually kind of just block your path. But simultaneously, what is the point of getting up on that square on the left? I don't know why you would want to do that. Pretty happy I can even analyze all this. Anyhow, if you were to get past that tall part, I imagine you could get up and around and over to that really nice pink area on the top left that looks like a nook that you would get into from above. There's a green plant. There's like big open pink petals, more upwards green spirally leaves, and a pink outline that might almost be separate from the plant, or maybe it is coloring the plant. I feel like that might be interactable. It just looks the interactability is very high looking, is what I would say. It's very appealing also, and I think that contrasted with the color of the mirror blue gives me that Celeste chapter 6, like there's just a lot of colors going on here. And as you can see outside the tryptophobia holes, it's very green, which is pretty much the only thing I was envisioning for this game. And yeah, very jungly, which is kind of distinct. I don't know. There's just something about it where if I can only really describe how I'm seeing the aesthetic via one Celeste level also made by them, I think it might come out having a pretty unique look, because that Earthblade teaser they gave last year, I think it looked kind of distinct too. Green doesn't scream anything to me, but when I sat on it, I was like, it's going to be a nice green game. That's going to be one of the greener games. And I like to assign years different colors. I just feel different colors from them, and oftentimes they get colored in by my favorite games from that year. And I've had a hard time imagining the color of 2023 besides being some kind of odd light green. And then I thought, well, maybe a bit ambitiously, I thought maybe Earthblade will come out and it'll be Earthblade colored. And that might be what we're in for. I wouldn't mind green with weird, bright colors mixed in for a funky 2023 aesthetic. Anyhow, because of the lighting, it looks like these purple dudes with the knobs are kind of blocking our way in and out of the room, but that might just be the background and the lighting. I can't really read what's interactable and what might be an obstacle out of this, and I'm not even going to bother because I am so tired, and I'm just happy to have looked at this and recorded my first thoughts, because they've shown pictures of like the protag's face art, talk sprite and stuff, and they've shown other stuff, but this is the first time where I feel like I've been in Earthblade. I've got a feel for it, and it's pretty exciting to have recorded my first impressions on that. So thanks for listening. I'm gonna shoot this out and then sleep as I promised my body I would. I'm sorry to say we're already burning the employees down to a cinder with overwork here at Cave Stories, so what are we gonna do? So hard when Earthblade is giving you overtime on a Wednesday. But no, legitimately, this is very pleasant news, so exciting times. Really exciting times.